The upcoming week is going to see the importing of a few African refugees
South
into
Africans into America.
Wonderful.
President Trump is saying to white Afrikaners from South Africa, I'll give you refugee status. So we're bringing in white Afrikaners who we don't know if they're criminals. We don't know this, what they went through in the legal process in South Africa.
We are having what? South African?
South African, white South Africans.
I mean,
so you kick out the black and brown and
how do you make America whiter? You have to import them.
It's a divisive move.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Especially given that Trump has been blocking refugee admissions from the rest of the world.
Because they're not going to get any whiter here. They're just going to be cut into by the Hispanic population, black population. Everybody is smashing the American white woman. Yeah. So you're not really getting any pure white. So you got to import them in now.
But see, the thing about it is, if you adopt American ways, you're going to end up.
I mean, they don't know that.
It's going to happen to their ass too.
Okay, but hey, that's the only way you can keep this thing going, because like I say, interracial mingling is
you don't think they interracial mingle in South Africa?
I'm sure they do.
Where do you think Trevor Noah comes from?
Exactly.
I'm sure. Well, we're going to welcome the white South Africans into America. I mean, we have no welcome to America.
Oh. So basically, let me give them the lowdown. The Trump administration is bringing a small number of white South Africans to the United States as refugees next week in what is going to be the start of a larger relocation effort for an alleged minority group who are being persecuted by the black-led government because of their race in South Africa.
This group in South Africa has faced racial persecution. In fact, the government there has vowed to take away their farmland that they own.
They just took back their land that they took from them. All right, keep moving.
Well, the Trump administration is taking an anti-immigrant stance, but for some reason, we don't know why, he's allowing these immigrants in.
Right.
They've decided to put an asterisk on that, and they're going to allow 8,000 South Afrikaners to come here as refugees. Those are white people, by the way. So why are the white South Africans allowed to be classified as refugees and come to the United States, but a refugee from El Salvador is not allowed to, or a refugee from Panama, or a refugee from Peru?
When you hear refugees and white people, it just sounds funny as hell.
Exactly.
Like, it just sounds funny.
You don't even
always
put it
think about
actually, no.
people of colors when you think
no,
of.
that's not true.
Kind of European.
No, that's not true. Eastern because from Ukraine refugees.
That was like kind of, you think of, when you think of refugees, you think of brown. You think of brown skinned people, and of course they were going to import white people here. I told y'all that. I told y'all they were bringing white people here.
However, out of 26,000 murders in South Africa last year, just 44 were linked to farming communities, according to police statistics. Crime researchers say the overwhelming majority of victims are black. In addition, 3/4 of private land in South Africa is white-owned, and not a single expropriation has taken place. South Africa's government has criticised Trump's program, saying that it fails to recognise South Africa's history of colonialism and apartheid. It added that it's ironic that refugee status is being offered to people from the most economically privileged part of South African society.
Now, the South African government has actually responded to these claims, saying that the U.S. allegations about the white minority Afrikaners in questions are completely false, and this is the result of misinformation. And he also said that the Afrikaners are among the richest and most successful people in the country, which is good for them and very sad for the black people of South Africa that the people in charge would say that.
This is the same Trump who I remember, who was like 5 million and you can get a gold card or something like that.
You can get the gold.
Yeah, this is the same person, and of course they got money.
These are handpicked. These are handpicked.
Yeah, so basically, these South Afrikaners are the descendants of Dutch and French colonial settlers who came to South Africa in the 17th century.
They're inbred.
Those are the ones that was helping with the slave trade. Keep it going.
So they are around 2.7 million among South Africa's 62 million population. So out of 62 million people, 2.7 million are white, which is
you're not from there, first of all.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, hello, you just said Dutch and where?
Dutch and France.
Dutch and France. So you are refugees in Africa. Make that make sense.
Yep.
Y'all supposed to take your ass back to Dutch and France. That's when you supposed to take your ass. Why you come and bring your ass here to America? Go to your home, your original home country.
So it's saying South Africa is 80% black. And
Duh.
Yeah. And
Africa. Duh.
Yeah, so many in South Africa are puzzled. They're like, what the hell is the USA talking about? Nobody's persecuted. They're probably taking one or two instances and trying to say it as propaganda.
Of course.
As if this is a representation
It's just supposed to be another way of, hey, we got handpicked South Africans that we want to come over here.
Sound more like we trying to get away from these.
No, they got money. They want to get away. They got the money. They want to get away from.
Trump wants them here.
These are these are
want to get away from these. Trump for this $5 million he was offering.
If you telling me it's only 2 million people, 2.5 million people there in the country, they are handpicked. These probably the bottom of the barrel type ones. But if you telling me out of those 2.5 million people that's in South Africa, over damn near 2 million of them got money. Like, come on.
This is going to be interesting because these refugees are coming this week.
Man, take y'all ass back to France and Dutch.
I just hope they understand the dynamics are a little different.
It's way
in the United
different.
States.
If you had issues in South Africa, what you think what you get here?
Well, they need to know we're not South Africans.
We clapping back.
Good morning. This is for the South Africans who are going to be entering the United States. Black people over here are empowered. These are just public service announcements. When you get here, sit your ass down and don't touch nothing.
You come with that boo clapping back.
Because, they feeling themselves. If you can go to a country that's 80% black and then you're white and own all the wealth or hoard the wealth, you might have a little bit of an ego.
And you add a majority of
you might have a little bit.
Yeah, they got ego.
You're in a country full of 80% black people.
Trust
and
me.
you pretty much running
If
shit
Trump picked these people to come over here, I'm sure
you already know
these are
what
some
it is.
egotistical.
I told you they are handpicked, man.
I'm sure.
I just hope they
These are some
just
egotistical
need to
white boys.
understand.
They don't understand.
Black Americans are not black South Africans.
They ain't the ones they got to worry about too. You got Mexicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Africans.
They need to worry about niggas first.
Shit. But
Well, they worry about all them other people.
But they gonna put them in white neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah,
all
they
white
have to.
towns.
We
All
ain't
white
gonna see
towns.
them. We ain't gonna see them.
You can't be no. I just hope you ain't on that shit because you know one of them going FAFO.
Well, you right.
Because you don't just come from
around
South
and
Africa
find out.
without testing one of these American blacks. Like, they just like the South Africans. Watch, buy my candy, Mooly.
No,
Like that
South
Eddie Murphy
Africa,
joke?
South Africa, y'all gonna get hatchet. they shoot AK-47s over here.
Yeah, boy.
Well,
Hey, yo, send them to Chicago.
These
Right.
Lions got switches up here,
Send them to
bro, and I
Chicago.
ain't talking
Send
about
them
off the
to
tree.
Any major city with. I want to. I prefer the cold ones because in Chicago and New York, when they get cold, they don't play around.
Yeah,
This is a bad time for racists to come here because it's about to be summer.
No, I mean send them to LA. Like send them out to LA. Yeah, send them out there.
LA.
Yeah. Gang culture out there is like send them out there. Chicago, send them out there.
I don't know, man. You right down there in Texas and Houston now. Them boys down don't be playing either. Alabama.
Well,
You send their ass out to Alabama, they get down too.
I kind of want them to go up north just so they can experience cold because it'd be warm in South
Yeah, it's hot as hell in South Africa.
so
Let
send
them
their
get,
ass to New York, Detroit,
yeah,
Chicago,
yeah.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee, yeah.
Michigan,
Yeah.
anywhere in Michigan,
Them cold
Ohio.
freeze your
The whole
ass.
year here.
Send them up to Columbus.
Yeah, y'all boys get a sweater. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see.
St. Louis.
Yeah,
that'd
so
be okay.
yeah, if there are any
No, that's
South
hot.
Africans
That's hot.
watching,
That's
spread the
hot.
word.
St. Louis is hot.
St. Louis ain't hot like that.
Yeah, it is.
No, send them to St. Louis.
Missouri. No, you said
Missouri.
cold. Missouri is in the warm. It's in a warm area.
No, it get cold in St. Louis.
It get cold in St.
Yeah, it
Louis.
does get cold, but
in
I'm saying it-
Louisville.
It's Midwest.
Yeah, it get cold out there, bro. Colorado, like those places,
Oh, yeah.
it get
Send 'em to
cold.
Dion. Let them get a Buffs game in. Yeah, send them. They need to send them to all the places that they need white people in, like Montana,
Wyoming.
Oh, South Dakota, North
South
Dakota.
Hell yeah.
The Dakota, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska. Let them build some infrastructure, see what's going to pop. But I'm going to be eager to check that out. That's going to be interesting.
Yes.
I just hope they ain't on that shit because, you know, like I said, we ain't South Africans over here.
They ain't gonna y'all get hatchet over there. They bust back over here.